My name is Graham Domke. I'm exhibitions curator for Dundee Contemporary Arts. We have two exhibitions on at the moment, Eddo Stern and Theresa Duncan. Theresa Duncan was a games designer, a blogger, a filmmaker and a critic. In the mid to late 1990s, in Washington and then subsequently in New York, she collaborated with creative practitioners to make games aimed at young girls, traditionally an underrepresented target market in the games industry. This was a period before the internet took its stranglehold. CD-ROMs were very, very popular, and Theresa's 3 games sold in the region of 100,000 copies, unprecedented for games targeted at girls. The games themselves, Chop Suey, Smarty, and 00, consist of hand-drawn animation, wonderful narration, and strange sound effects and music by Brendan Canty. They were packed with attitude, very literate, and also very addictive. After the market for CD-ROMs waned, she started to work in film and television, and the result in 1998 was the History of Glamour, a wonderful continuum of the CD-ROMs, and a film that would be shown in galleries but also was broadcast on Channel 4. Sadly, Theresa died in 2007, but what is really positive is how the games and Theresa's work has been preserved and made accessible by Rhizome in New York, and also Theresa's mother, Mary, and her tireless work in putting the games out on the likes of Vimeo. Eddo Stern and Theresa Duncan exhibitions are part of the DIGRA conference. DIGRA is the Digital Games Research Association. They've collaborated with the Foundation of Digital Games for a conference hosted by the University of Abertay and coordinated by Dr. William Huber, head of the Centre for Excellence at Abertay University.
I'm an artist and I make games also. I see my games as part of my artwork. I don't see much of a separation between them. Yeah, I mean, this question about games versus art and games as art and art as games and can games be art or all this is a big, something that is debated a lot. I think it comes from a few places. You know, one is the fact that there is a lot of cultural energy now in this point in time of a transformation of what games can be, what they can mean to people, just by the fact of more people being interested in making games and consuming games, let's say beyond their youth. People's life perspectives change. They want more out of a medium perhaps than it used to provide. So you're seeing more diverse people wanting to make games and to make them differently than the usual tropes of gaming: competition, violence, fantasy. So I think we are at a moment where the medium and the nature, the meaning of the word is contested because it means starting to mean different things to people who work in games and who want to see games provide a broader sort of reflection of the human condition. So look at games more like cinema or literature or music, where you could go to a bookstore and there'll be different areas. There'll be the fiction section, the action adventure, the mystery, all the genre stuff, sci-fi, but then there'll also be romance and psychology and philosophy and history, and the idea that it's a broad medium. Games are meant to be fun, so when they're not fun, what's the point? Games are meant to be, you know, an escape from reality. What does it mean to make them not allow you to escape from reality? They're escapist for most people. So that's one of the things I'm interested in. Also interested in history and I suppose political history and how it's processed through simulation and fantasy. So the main piece in the show is Vietnam Romance. It's a game I've been working on for 3 years and is about, I suppose, a kind of perverse yearning for experience and a fascination with the Vietnam War as a kind of, I guess there's the expression, may you live in interesting times. And I feel like the Vietnam War has been repackaged in such a way that it's this pitch perfect sort of pathos. The narrative has been packaged mostly in Hollywood film with rock music from the 60s as the backdrop, a kind of classic anti-hero who's both a military sort of legend but also has a conscience, in this sort of really perfectly packaged utopian idea of the war. And I'm interested in this idea that this has become, I think for most people now, the experience of the Vietnam War moving forward. History's been replaced by a kind of manufactured entertainment version, which is an amalgam of really all the Vietnam films and their soundtracks. So the game is about that. It's sort of about a desire to experience the Vietnam War and the perversity of this transformation of something truly horrible and problematic into something appealing.